Hey friends, hello. Good morning. Welcome to Craft Your Joy Live. It's Lisa. It's Sunday. I never go live on Sunday, but hey, we're testing out some new equipment today. We're trying some new things. And I thought we'd do a little paint and a little watercolor Q&A this morning. So I'm kind of excited to be here. So yeah, we're gonna get to it. So today I'm not gonna be making a card or walking out some of the card techniques that we normally do on our lives. But I am going to walk through some watercolor Q&A. I've gotten quite a few questions that I just pulled a few. I get questions via email, direct messages, things like that. So I just kind of keep them and hold on to them. And then we're going to just do a little bit of painting some sunflowers in some sketchbooks. So I'm going to talk a little bit about watercolor paper. I'm going to talk about paint and travel kits too. I'm just going to be, like I said, we're going to see what shakes out. I'm testing out new equipment. I've got all kinds of things going on now and overhead cams and all the things. So I see people popping in and saying hello. Hey, Catherine. Holy smokes. I didn't think anybody would pop in today. I know I sent it out. If you're on my email subscriber list, I did send out an email, let everybody know I was doing this today. So it's super casual today. If you have questions along the way, just pop a Q or a QQ in the chat and kind of let me know what your questions are. And I'm going to answer them along the way. This is just going to be super, super casual. So, hey, Lorraine. So she just said, happy to catch your live today. Yeah, me too. I've never done a Sunday live. So as we get into this today, let me know if you kind of like this time because it could work. It might. You never know. It could work. Okay. So hi, Michelle. So seeing lots of people pop in. That's really cool. Okay. Now, again, welcome to Craft Your Joy Live. I'm Lisa Hetrick. Everybody that's popping in has kind of been here before. Lorraine just said your picture is so crisp and clear. Good, because I've been working on this tech. Friends, for a while, trying to get this right. I am a I'm a tech junkie. I love tech. I love everything about it. So, I've been trying to get this video stuff dialed in for a little bit over a year now, and I think I got it. Got a couple other things I need to adjust, but hey, we're getting there. Lights, camera, all the things. So let me know how it's looking. Oh, my husband just dropped in. Hello, honeydew. He just popped in, which is weird, but hey. So, kind of fun. Hi, Michelle. Love your earrings. Oh, cool. Yeah. These are from Melissa Burke. So she's an artist in Oregon. Yeah, she's in Oregon. And she does a lot of pottery. She's a mixed media artist. Her her parents are potters. So around Christmas time, actually, she does a big sale, around the fall time for the holiday season. And she always does these beautiful, ceramic earrings. And I absolutely love them. So every year I pick a new one. So these were the ones from last year. So super fun. Okay, I'm going to head to the overhead camera. Let's hope that all is working with the tech for that. And we're just going to kind of walk through a couple things and just have a little Q&A chat today. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah. So now everybody's deciding to text me. You can hear these little pings and things happening. So, that's fun. All right then. Sorry about that. You never know what's going to happen on live, and it's Sunday morning to boot. So, we got some more people popping in. Hi, Geraldine. She said you look so wide awake and ready to go. I wish that was true, friends. Literally 15 minutes. You know what? I'm going to pop my head back on the screen if I can remember where I put that. Okay. So 15 minutes before the live, I was like, oh, I got to gather my things because today was going to be super casual. And I literally had no paint, no water, no anything. So I was like, I'm really prepared for today. But again, This is low key. We're low key testing the tech today and trying out a few things today. So I see some more people popping in. Super fun. Okay. All right, we're going to get to it. We're just going to jump in. All right, so today I've got a bunch of things here. Today I'm going to answer some Q&A about, here, let's move that. That's from a couple days ago. I'm going to answer some Q&A about a couple of things. Paper, paint, and travel kits, and brushes. And we're going to do a little bit of a paint along. So one of the number one questions I get asked all the time is, what paper should I use? What paper should I use for my watercolor projects? Okay, it's not a loaded question. It is a preference question. Here's my preference, 100% cotton paper. So you guys, many of you, hey Dawn, Dawn just popped in. So many of you know that I talk about a very specific paper when we're doing our paper crafting projects. And that's this paper right here, the Strathmore Ready Cut Watercolor. All right, we're gonna have a few tech issues as I learn to figure out what's going on with the adjustment of the camera. So I'm just been kind of playing around with that. So and see how it's kind of readjusting. So we're going to have, today is a big day to figure out some of these live tech issues, but you're with me. We're doing it together. All right. So this is one of my favorite papers for paper crafting projects, and it's the Strathmore Ready Cut Watercolor paper, which it doesn't seem to really like what I'm doing here. So let's move some of the things out. I think sometimes the camera has too many things to focus on and it doesn't know what to focus on. So we're going to leave it be. So Strathmore Ready Cut Watercolor, this is 100% cotton paper. It is one of my super favorite papers for paper crafting projects, our card making projects, and other things like that. I also do some professional watercolor things that projects on it too. But the big thing about this is that it's super affordable and it is 100% cotton. Okay. So that is one of the things that I prefer. Now, the difference between papers, like all of these sketchbooks, I'm going to bring some of these more high-end papers in. This Canson, and many of you have heard of the Arches paper. The Arches paper is 100% cotton, 300 GSM. You know, it is the nice paper, super high quality. I do not use this paper for paper crafting. As you can see, I use this paper for, actually painting flowers and painting professional projects that are going to get scanned and reproduced. So this kind of paper comes on a block. It's really super high end. It is an absolute joy to paint on. Oh, Dawn just shared, just purchased the paper on Amazon. Yeah. I always have that in my links. This Strathmore Ready Cut Watercolor is a great paper that you can find on Amazon. You can. It is one of my favorites. Here's another one. Canson Heritage. I'm going to have to turn that off. Okay. So the Canson Heritage paper is another 300 GSM paper, cold press paper, 140 pound. This is another brand of 100% cotton paper, but it's a little bit different and it has a little bit of a different tooth. Now, I have a class in my classroom. Many of you know, I see a lot of familiar faces this morning. I have a class in my classroom called Watercolor Wonderland, and that's at craftyourjoy.com. So we're just going to have some techie issues today. At craftyourjoy.com, I have a class called Watercolor Wonderland, and it is my super extended watercolor course. It is the biggest course I've ever made. I see many familiar names in here who are in that class, and it is a take your own, self-paced kind of class. Take it at your own time kind of thing. But in that class, I really went into super duper depths about paper, about paint, about all those kinds of things. Today, I'm just kind of scratching the surface a little bit. But we're just, again, having some fun and kind of diving in. So 100% cotton is my favorite paper. And that's what I predominantly use. Now, let me grab. Here is another paper. Let's see. We're going to have to figure out why my camera is being a little bit mean this morning, and that's okay. Maybe we'll just pop in a little bit and see. Give it some time. Again, we're just learning. I'm learning what's going on with this camera and what happens with it when we go live. So that's fine. If we bring this up, you're with me. You guys are literally with me testing the focus of the camera. So we give it a minute. Give it a minute to focus, or not, or we'll be ending our live shortly. No. Oh, I love lives. They're so fun. Okay. All right, this is another paper. This is the Canson cold press paper, but this isn't 100% cotton. It's a 9x12, 140 pound paper. Now, this paper is great for, I've talked about this paper. It is a cellulose paper. So I've got a couple things going on in here, just kind of playing around. It's a great paper for our paper crafting projects. It really does work well for those kinds of things. It works really well for ink. I don't love using this kind of paper for splashy watercolor projects that I like to do because it doesn't have, the fibers in this paper are cellulose. So it's a mixture of wood pulp, just kind of smashed together to make this paper. There's a little bit of tooth to it. It's super smooth on the other side, but it isn't like my super favorite for using with like watercolor paints. And that's okay. You can see I did paint on this and this looks just fine, but a lot of the techniques that I like to do don't perform very well on this paper. So the key to paper is literally just to kind of try out what you have. I always say, like, if you're getting started with just getting started in watercolors, my sketchbook, look how filthy dirty it is. If you're getting started in watercolor, spend the money on paper and then slowly adjust your budget for your paints and the different brands of paints you want to work with over time. But if you start out with cheap paper, like really crappy paper, you're not going to get good results. And then that's going to make you feel defeated and not successful at what you're doing and your practice. So start out with the better paper. So if you're just getting started out, try that Strathmore Ready Cut watercolor. I don't have all the links down below in the description, but I will after the live. Start out with that and then get a feel for that 100% cotton paper. You're really going to like it. Everybody can get Canson. The Canson XL, you can get it at your big box store. It's like everywhere. You can get that and you can practice on it, but just know some of your other techniques are going to be hard to do on that paper. Okay. Look, I'm going to get like super nerdy and rambly. And it happens all the time when I start talking about paper. Okay. So I'm going to dive in. The next thing I'm going to dive into, I've got a bunch of sketchbooks here because we're going to paint in a sketchbook, and these are 100% cotton sketchbooks. I'm going to toss them to the side because the second question that I had was travel boxes. Okay, so this is interesting. I think that I'm definitely going to have to start working on dialing in a few things, but let me pull in a little bit closer here and see what happens. So I've discovered my camera just really likes to focus on the one thing that's happening here. So, oh boy. Sorry about that. I just have to answer a quick text. Okay. All right. It's Sunday morning, friends. I'm like glad you're still with me. Like super disorganized today, but that's what I promised. I promised we were going to see what shakes out, right? All right, so let's talk a little bit about travel kits and like smaller watercolor sets, because that was one of the questions that I got. So here are a couple of my travel kits. I have a bunch, friends, and I'm not going to lie. If you've taken Watercolor Wonderland, you saw the, I see that Cherie's here, and she's in that class in Watercolor Wonderland. So is Dawn. So is Catherine. There's a bunch of you that are in that class. There, I kind of went through all of the different kinds of watercolors that I have and what's in my stash. And you all don't need all of those sets, but I'm just going to walk through like some options for portable sets. So this is a Winsor Newton portable travel kit, and I really love this kit. Okay, so I have a couple of these. Like every once in a while they'll go on like a super sale on Amazon, and the Cotman version of it will be like 20 bucks, and you can pick it up just for the case alone, just for the kit, and then change out what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and open this and then just kind of show you how this one works. So this one is a Winsor & Newton. It has the professional watercolors in it. Let's see. All right. Well, camera doesn't really want to focus today. So let's figure out what's going on with that. We might have to end our live a little early today. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right, I got some tech things to work out, but this is a Winsor Newton set, and it's got this little water container, so you can put water in it. It's got this little cup, so the cup sticks onto here, and the whole kit just kind of like works like this, which is super fun. I've got a piece of paper in here. I've taken this kit when we've gone on vacation and things like that. It just kind of tells me what colors I put in there. But it's a super fun kit. It's also great like if you are low on space or you're just getting started out with watercolors and you just want a couple colors to work with, to start with. So super fun. I like it. I added an extra, like the kit, actually the professional kit comes with I think like 12. And I added the 2 extra yellows, the warm and the cool yellow. So kind of fun. Great little easygoing travel kit. Close it up. And then there you go. It fits like in the palm of your hand. It's actually like, so here's my cell phone. It's actually smaller than my cell phone, which is kind of fun. Okay. Now, a couple of the other things I want to talk. I've talked about these before. Portable painters. I'm going to bring them out. I just have it in this. I don't know. I made this bag a little while ago and I thought it would be fun. These are portable painters. I love these. I'm going to pop this open. So you just pop this open and it like the guy that made this, and I just forgot his name. It's like an engineer. He's brilliant. Portablepainter.com. You can also find him on Amazon. So this sits up like this. And you can have like your brushes on this side and water on that side, or water in both sides. And you open it up and you've got like this full-on kit. He also made these little extra pieces. These are little extra pans that go in. And this is a set of 12. And I've got Winsor Newton in here. This is, I just love this whole setup. I have 6 of these with different brands of paint in them. That's how much I love it. So it's another really great, great set to have because it is super portable and it fits in the palm of your hand, so it can drop down into your bag. It's great for traveling. So there we go. Portable painter. Love that. Look at that. It fits in the palm of your hand. And again, like this one is the size of your cell phone. How freaking cool is that? So that's super fun. And here's another one that he made. It's called the Micro. Well, all right. Camera doesn't like that. So we got a little bit, we got some stuff to work out. So this is the micro portable painter. This is super fun too. I love this one. This is really tiny, and look, it fits in your hand like that. But I've got, so this just comes on the side here, and this comes on the side here. So you got mixing space. You can put water in here, and then I've got all of these little colors in here. These are all Daniel Smith colors, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're all Daniel Smith colors, and they're great for like just painting on the go. Ah, I love that set. All right, let's close this up. And it just fits down in here like this. I love a really well engineered product. It doesn't come with this, but I just stuck it on there, this rubber band. Okay. Now, many of you have seen this on the lives. This is a newer palette. This is made from Magello, the company that makes, I think it's Korean company that makes Mission Gold watercolor paints. Well, they also came out with sets of their watercolor paint in this kind of configuration. But I bought an empty one so that I could put my own configuration of paints in it. Some Da Vinci watercolors, and that's what we're going to use. But I really love the Magello brand for the kind of palettes that they make. So this was like super intriguing when they came out with this, because of, it's a plastic palette, but look at how well the paint, like the paint doesn't bead up in here. The paint works really well inside of this palette. So love it. I think we're going to be using that. So those are just a couple of the words are hard. Those are just a couple of the travel palettes that I have. So let's just kind of, I've been like jabberwalking here for 23 minutes nerding out. So let's just dive in and like start painting and chatting. All right. This is another palette that I have that sits on my desk. And inside here, I think I have my Mary Blue. You think I would have written that down, but I've got these little pads, these little felt pads on the bottom so that it like glides really easily on my glass mat. I've been talking a little bit about porcelain palettes for a while. Like here's another one that I use. Maybe we'll stick that over here. And I'm going to bring in my big honkin' one just to kind of show you. I think I just posted something about this recently, and if you're on my email list, you probably saw it too. This, I probably won't be able to get this whole thing in the screen, but let's see if I can, and we'll just talk about it. Let me just take this paper towel and put that down here, or turn it this way. All right, this is, oh, this one is my Mary Blue. This is a big honkin' palette made from Meeden. So this is plastic. It's great. You can use this for mixing space. It's super, super solid. And then this is the porcelain palette part. So I have the colors kind of marked out going all the way across here. What the colors are for this My Mary Blue set, what their pigments are. And I just recently cleaned this out, so I haven't been doing a lot of mixing in here. But this is a great palette. I've got two of these. So this one is the My Mary Blue one. And let me grab the Da Vinci. The Da Vinci watercolors. Look at all those colors. Oh my gosh, I just love it. So this one has gotten a little bit more use lately. So these palettes are porcelain. They're about maybe like 3 pounds. They're not something that you're going to be traveling with. They are something that sits on your desk. But the beautiful thing about them is that they've got a lot of mixing space. And then they have a lot of space inside here to put your brush in and really just get your whole brush in and get a lot of paint. So many of you know that like my painting style is like super washy watercolor painting style. And I use a lot of water and a lot of paint. And I'm splashing a lot of stuff around. So this, when I'm painting off camera, this palette and this kind of palette works really, really well. So, I mean, so does this one for the most part. But this one is like a lot smaller. So look at the, it's about, you know, it can fit inside of it. But you don't have to get these kind of porcelain plates if it's not for you. You can just like literally go to your kitchen and grab a palette, grab a plate, a ceramic plate, or just any kind of white plate, and you can use that for your watercolor palette. Like these are, I think these are from Target, to be honest. They're like little, maybe little plates for, you know, cheeses and stuff. So they work, and it works really well as a mixing space. Okay, enough with the rambly. I think I really just took a quick dive into a couple of the recent questions. I don't see Heidi on today's live, but I did just get a direct message from her yesterday that with a great question about warm and cool colors. And I know in watercolor, and I know I've covered that a couple times in some of the other lives, but I'm going to take some time to do more of an elongated lesson on that. So Catherine just shared, I use a ceramic deviled egg plate. Yeah, the ceramic deviled egg plates are great. I've got one of those around here too. They're fantastic because you can get a ton of paint inside those wells and really go for it. Okay, got some brushes here. What am I using today? So today I'm going to use these Princeton Heritage brushes. I've been playing around with these a lot. I've got a number 10 and a number 3 round. And this is because this is what I grabbed in the final moments before I went live. Here's another brush. You guys have seen me use these brushes. I've used them so much that it has, the name of the brush is like just dissolved. These are the silver black velvet brushes. I've had these for like over 15 years. Really love them because they still come to a point. And they hold a lot of water. So does the Princeton Heritage. This holds a lot of water, but not as much as the silver black velvet. And this is a newer one. These are the Princeton Aqua Elites. These are synthetic brushes. They come to a really nice fine tip, and they hold a lot of water. They're supposed to be kind of a run for the silver black velvet brushes that are squirrel. I believe it's squirrel here. So the reason why I like these brands, and I have a lot of brushes, friends, the reason why I like them is because they hold a lot of water and they don't disappoint me while I am painting. Okay, so again, we talked about brushes, we talked about paint, we've talked about paper, and I've kind of honed in and focused on paper. So I'll talk a little bit about some sketchbooks. So the sketchbooks that I'm sharing here are 100% cotton. This one is from Etcher. So this isn't a 100% cotton sketchbook. I'm just going to do a quick sketchbook. We're going to do a little painting here, similar to that. So I got a quick brush question here. Let's pop that up. Let's see if we can still pop Catherine's question. There we go. Some of my ferrules have loosened so the handle wobbles a bit. Does it work to reclamp them with pliers? Yes, it does. So what Catherine is saying is, here's the ferrule of the brush. Sometimes over time, when they get a little too wet, they'll loosen. Like I have a couple that are cracking, right? They'll loosen, or they'll just from use, they're just going to end up getting a lot looser, or sometimes they might even fall off. So you can, like, because the brush is still good, you can try to plier it back, use some pliers and just kind of crunch it, you know, smoosh it back on. Maybe if there's a bit of space between the ferrule and the wood and you can get a little bead of glue underneath it, like a Gorilla Glue. I've done that before too. I've got a couple of the ferrules of my silver black velvet that are starting to split right up here. But you know, they're like 15, 18 years old, and I've taken really good care of them. They've just gotten some good use over the years. But yeah, I would try to salvage it that way, Catherine. Give it a go. But because the brushes, if you're investing in the brushes, these aren't exactly inexpensive. You know, they're not like $1, $2. Some of these brushes can be like $20 a piece, but you're going to have it for 20 years. So you want to definitely take care of your brushes. And never, one of the other things is never let them sit in water like this overnight. Now, some people do. Now, your craft brushes or your brushes that are a lot less expensive, yeah, have at it. Let them sit in water. But don't let your good watercolor brushes or your good painting brushes sit in water overnight, because that will loosen the ferrule from the wood. It will. And it'll just deteriorate your brush. Okay, 100% cotton. This is an etcher sketchbook. These are really super nice, 100% cotton paper. I really like painting in them. They're a lot of fun. Here's another little sunflower. I think we're gonna dive into painting. I really gravitate towards these when I want to when I really want to do a painting and I want to get some good results. Here's some other, these two, I've showed these before. These are the Strathmore watercolor travel journals, and I've shown these before, these 140-pound journals. Sadly, I don't think they make them anymore, or I haven't been able to find them. So I had stocked up, I think I only have one more when I started to fill these up. But I have taken these on vacation, and I've done some paintings in them. I think we might do a painting in it today if I have an open piece of paper. I do. I have an open piece of paper. So I really like painting in them. I think you get some really good results. The paper is nice and thick. And again, it's 100% cotton. So, and they come with these things to just kind of hold them together, which is kind of fun. I've got Tierra Bloom's Flower Farm. This is a local flower farm. I love their stickers, so I stuck it on top. And these books are just great for experimenting. You can see that the water, you know, just kind of comes through. But they're great for experimenting with different kinds of things in here. I've done a bunch of different things in here. I love this. Just playing with my Mary Blue watercolor, just some painting, some washy watercolor, some more controlled paintings. Just some fun stuff in here. Let's see what we got. I haven't looked at these books in a while, so I'm not really sure what's in here. Testing some darker colors. Okay. So this is a fun one. This one's almost all full. That's kind of interesting. Hey, Wendy. Wendy just popped in. She said she overslept. Wendy, you're on the West Coast, right? If I remember correctly. Yep. Okay, here's the etcher book. This is another one. Look at how this one, you know, these etcher books are, this is like a canvas. They get super dirty, you know, because I'm outside, might be sitting outside and painting with them. I've actually taken this to different trips with me, Colorado, stuff like that. So, but again, the difference between that 100% cotton is look at the vibrancy in the paint that you can achieve. I've got that washy watercolor look. I've got a really, really super vibrant watercolor going here. And a lot of these results are indicative of the paint that I'm using. Boy, that's showing up like super vibrant. Grace upon grace. I'm not sure what this is. Sometimes my paintings look a little weird, but this is some Christmas paintings. There's another poinsettia painting. But yeah, this paper is so nice. So nice. Not sure what this is. Some kind of runaway. Look. Again. The thing I love about the 100% cotton in this paper is that it can take water and more water and more water, and it takes everything that I throw at it. And it doesn't buckle that much. Buckles a little bit. But it takes those fibers, that cotton fiber, takes that water, takes that paint, and just says, give me more, I'm ready. And I just love that. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, these are all just some kind of experiments. I think these are just bits and pieces of things that I need to scan because I'm going to make patterns out of them, stuff like that. I think we're going to work in this book today. Let's just work in this book. I'm going to open this up. These cool sketchbooks, they have little pockets on the back too. So they're kind of cool. Let's just open this up as far as I can get it. Kind of pop that in the frame. And we're going to get started. We're going to paint a sunflower. I'm going to go in. So we're just going to have a little paint along and a little chat. I'm going to go in with my number 10. Let's move some stuff around here. And, you know, while I'm painting, just kind of let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Sorry, I'm just kind of giggly today. Let me know in the chat, like, what you've been working on lately. Or if you do have questions. I'm going to pop out a little bit. If you do have any questions along the way. And we're going to probably wrap up in about 20 minutes or so. All right. Here's my mystery palette. I'm pretty sure this is my Mary Blue in here, but I'm not 100% sure what I put in here. But I'm pretty sure it is my Mary Blue because this is my Mary Blue for sure. But that's okay. We're going to have some fun with it. I've got 2 things of water here. One for clean, one for dirty. So just to kind of keep my brush, keep my paints clean, I'm going to start with, this is burnt sienna over here. I'm going to get my brush in here. I really like, I need a lot of water. I really like these kind of palettes because look, I can get that whole brush in there. And then I'm coming out here. Oh, I got a little bit of that color. Coming out here and doing some mixing. Looks like I got a little bit of that color right there. And I'm also kind of jacking around with the camera. All right, so we've got some work to do with the focus of this camera. And I think it doesn't like what when I do multiple things. So I got some things to figure out. That's fine. So this is burnt sienna. And I'm just getting a nice big pool of it. This camera doesn't like when I do things. I think I'm going to have to work with the focus because it wants to focus on my hand. And it wants to focus on something and it's having some trouble. So hopefully we can get through this painting with it cooperating. All right, we'll see. I'll just keep going. Thanks for bearing with me today, friends, with the tech. It also probably has a lot to do with the lighting. I've got like all the window lightings coming in. I've got all these other lights going on. So I have some testing to do. All good. That's what today was for. An easy Sunday. All right, I've got some burnt sienna here. And we're going to start with the center of the sunflower. I've got a lot of pigment going. And it's sort of like a 2% milk. So my water to paint ratio, I've got a lot of pigment going. I've got a medium amount of water going. And so that water to paint ratio is about a 2% milk. Okay. Dawn says, glad to see I'm not the only one with the tech problems. Yeah, I'm having the tech issues today. But that's okay. You know, got this new camera. We're trying some stuff out. We're going to start with the center of the sunflower. So what I'm doing is I'm just dropping in a couple little dots of that burnt sienna. See, I'm just dropping. It's just wet, super wet. All right, we're going to have to really solve this problem. And we might have to like, let's see what happens when I come in tight. We'll figure it out. I'm going to have to talk to my friend Kathy Z and get her opinion on how on the fix for this, because she's good with this camera. All right, now I'm going to come in with some yellow. I've got some lemon yellow here. And I'm kind of working quick because I really want to utilize that burnt sienna that I have there. I've got some lemon yellow, and I'm going to take a little bit of this Hansa yellow deep and just kind of drop a little droplet of it in there because I just want to warm that up. That lemon yellow is a super cool color, and the Hansa Yellow Deep is has a little bit more warmth to it. And I'm going to just use the whole entire belly of my brush and just kind of start to paint out and utilize the colors that I have here. Look at all that color. Oh yeah, we've got some white balance issues. We've got all kinds of issues. I'm actually just using the brown from the center, and that's becoming like and I'm just pushing it out to the outer edge. So I've got, you know what? I don't love the fact that I'm turning this sketchbook around. So let's just pull that out. Yep, I just ripped that out of my sketchbook. I did. All right. Now I'm going to come back in with this lemon yellow, and I'm kind of going for more of 100% version of it, like a whole milk version of it. So a lot of pigment and less water. And then I'm just going to start to just kind of drop some of that in here. And using that entire belly of the brush again. And getting my petals to be a little more formed. You can see that brush, like, that brush held so much water, held so much paint, like all the way until I got to that last petal. Oh boy, that yellow is super off in my screen here. Dropping a little bit more of that burnt sienna in there. Just kind of letting that go. Oh boy, we have some color correcting to do, friends. Let's take a peek. Yeah, we've got some serious color correcting to work on, but that's okay. I love it. We're all friends here. I'm taking a little bit of that burnt sienna, and I'm just kind of using the tip of my brush and going around with it. Just kind of using a little bit of it to help create some shapes in the petals. This sunflower does not look that fantastic, but that's okay. Got all these techie things happening. I'm gonna try a little techie thing. See what happens when I knock back some of that light. That might help a little bit. I think that's helping a little bit. Okay. Wow, who's still here? There's some people that are still here. Yeah. Okay. Add a little bit more of this yellow over here. Take a little bit of that burnt sienna. I'm going to drop just a smidge of that right in there. Oh, these colors over here are showing up like super day glow. That's all right. And this is looking like a bit of a hot mess. Okay, I'm just going to come around. I'm just trying to get a little bit of the shape of the flowers here, because we kind of have this big washy blobby mess. And that's okay. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to come in with some greens. Let's get some green gold here. So what's everybody got planned for their Sunday? My son and my husband are on their way home from a weekend trip, so that's exciting. They'll be home soon. And my daughter's on a trip with her friends. She just left yesterday, so she'll be back in a few days. So I'm excited. She's having some fun, a little bit of summer fun before all the school stuff starts and all that starts again. So, Dawn said blobby mess. Yes, blobby mess. I'm making some petals here. Just doing, this is a little bit of green gold. This color from my Mary Blue, green gold. Holy smokes, it's pretty. It is exactly what it says. It's green and gold, and I love it. Just doing some petals. This isn't turning into a sunflower. Oh, look what I just did. Just did a little bloop of color. This isn't turning into a sunflower, it's just turning into some kind of yellow flower. I'm going to work with that bloop of paint that I did there and just create a piece of leafery going off of it. So, Dawn's just sharing. She's hoping to see her grand boys later. Cherie's at her parents'. Fun. Just using the tip of my brush and doing a few things. So, leafery, tip of the brush, kind of come out. Use the whole belly of the brush to get that elongated leafery look. Love it. Dawson, you're hilarious. I'm having a day. I'm having a day. This painting, and the color just does not look good at all. So we've got that going for us. I think that green gold, I'm testing a few things. I'm looking at things on different monitors to see different effects here. So what happens usually with my paintings, especially these practice fun paintings, is that I end up doing like leafery on this side and leafery on this side, and then it ends up looking like a flower crab. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to turn our painting this way, and I'm going to resist the urge to make a flower crab. So Jeannie popped in. Hey, Jeannie just said, finally getting my stuff out of storage. It's been 4 months without playing with your supplies. Yes, get them out. Can't wait to see what you create. Can't wait. Okay, let's pop in. Now, let's take a look. I'm going to show you. Everything is still like super wet. So to go in and add another layer, I really need this area to kind of be dry. And that technique is called glazing. So I'm going to come in with a little bit of my darker green. I think this is chromium. I think this is a chromium green oxide. Let's come in with a little bit of that dark green and just kind of see, add a few little details over top of what I already did. Oh, I got a lot of color. Got a lot of color going here. Okay, just add some of that green over top. Catherine just asked a question. Let's pop that. Let's take a peek at that question. Another brush question. Is it important to dry your brushes with the brush down? Oh, good question. If so, how do you hang them? Or is it just lying flat enough to make sure the water goes out? So some of the things for your brushes, a lot of people do dry them in those little things, and they'll dry them like that, brush down. When I'm finished with the brushes, Catherine, I usually just take and pat out the excess water right along the edge here. So I'll roll it across a paper towel, and then to get that excess off, and then I will like often just pat it dry. And then I store my brushes like this in a couple big containers and just kind of let them dry. But it's really a preference thing. I've never stored them downward, so I've never done it that way. So, and I've never had any problems. Okay, we got some focus issues happening again, but we'll get it back. There we go. Anybody else see that little tiny heart right there in the center? I love that. I look for hearts every day. If you, when you're out, like when I'm out doing my walk run, when you're out anywhere, if you like intentionally look for hearts, you're going to find them every day, and they'll just pop up in your life. It's kind of super fun. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of this chromium green, this darker green, and I've got like my mixture here is really like that 100% milk. It is, I've got a lot going. I've got a lot here. So I'm just going to come in, playing around with adding some of these greens just to add a little bit of color over top. Oh, sorry about that. All right. Come on, little camera. It's funny. You prepare for live streams. You get all your tech figured out. And then the day comes and it decides to do what it wants to do. But that was the point of this Sunday, was a little bit of a lesson, a little bit of a chat. I kind of have a little bit too much green here. Let's just go ahead and kind of pop that out. I do have another live coming up this week. So I see, many of you are already on my email list. And that'll be going out probably like Tuesday or Wednesday, that email. But I'll probably be going live Thursday or Friday. All right. This flower still looks a little bit like a crab. All right, we're going to be like wrapping up soon. I'm just playing around. I'm going to come in, get some more yellow, mix up some more yellow. And this time I'm going to take a little bit of that burnt sienna, pop that in. Just kind of warm that yellow up a little bit. Mix that up. Let's get a little more going here. Wow. Seeing what happens. Okay. This is pretty dry. I'm going to come in and just kind of start to create some shape with the petals. I need a little more of that burnt sienna to get a little more shape going with the petals. So my sunflower ended up looking a little bit like, oh boy. There we go. Sunflower ended up just looking a little bit like a yellow flower. So, oh, Kathy Z just popped in. Hey, Kathy. So, hey, we'll chat later. Because, yeah, first test run with the new equipment. M50 looks fantastic. Having a little trouble with the Canon and the focusing. So, I got a few more tech things to work out. Like it not honing in and focusing, which is kind of fun. Catherine just shared. Catherine Monroe, it looks like a primrose. It does. It does look like a primrose. I'm just kind of bringing it together a little bit. Sue Wisniewski. Hey, Sue. She's just popping in from Facebook. Are you doing freestyle painting? Yeah. This is just a freestyle, doing it off the top of my head. Testing the camera equipment and playing around. But yeah. So, yeah. And we were just having a few techie issues with focus. And I've got some things I need to like play around with to get this really dialed in. So it's kind of interesting. That depth of field that's happening with the camera, it really is having a hard time deciding what it wants to do. So it's been popping in and out, but like, see how it's popping in and out. Anyway, all right, I think what we're going to do, we had some fun. We talked a little bit about travel palettes. I'm going to pop my face back on here. We're just going to let it ride. Yeah, a little bit of a change. All right, I'm back. Woo. All right, friends. I still have some techie issues to work out, but all in all, huge improvement over what I've been doing with the live streams in the past. There was some today was going to be super easy breezy. I answered some questions, had some Q&A, and thanks, Kathy. Cassie said we'll have to check the settings. Well, yeah, have to check the settings because when it's crisp, it's super crisp. You're right. So there's something going on with the settings and the focus and things with the camera. So I got a little bit more playing to do. But thanks for hanging out with me today, this morning on a Sunday morning. I never go live on a Sunday morning, but I'm kind of digging it. And sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. So we'll see. I might be putting that into the queue of doing a little freestyle painting on Sunday mornings. So we'll see. But, I answered some questions today. We did talk about watercolor. I did get a bit nerdy about paint and travel sets and paper and all those nerdy things about watercolor. So there was some value in today's live stream. So, all right, friends, I'm going to pop out and say goodbye for the Sunday here. And I hope everybody has a really great Sunday. Again, I will be back this week with a live, it's either going to be Thursday or Friday. I'm thinking it's going to be Thursday with a live stream and back to paper crafting. So we're going to be using my newest set with Jeannie K Designs called, I just blanked on what the set was. Not Showers of Blessings. That was last month. So brand new set that I have out, and all of you know what it is because I apparently can't bring the word out. You know, it's Sunday morning. Okay. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And if you're not on my email list, I would encourage you to jump on it. I send an email every week. And that's when I'm sharing like a lot of freebies, when I'm going live, all the things going on with Gina K, all of the extra things that I do kind of outside of the live stream. So if you're interested, that link is down below in the description. And I'd love to have you in the community. So, all right, friends, have a great Sunday. Thanks for putting up with me today and the tech and all the testing and all the nerdy chatter. So have a great weekend, rest of your weekend, and I'll see you this week. Bye, friends.